Timing, key to this trial. I think it's going to be the thing we keep coming back to, keep talking about. You note for MSNBC.com, Trump loves to delay trials. Courts have taken notice. What does that mean for his legal strategy?
Well, his strategy, of course, will be delay. His hope will be to delay proceedings for so long that there will never be a trial because he will be back in office and he will pardon himself. And of course, that's part of the clock that Jack Smith is taking. It's now complicated by the selection of judge in this case. We now know that Judge Eileen Cannon will be hearing this case. She's the district judge in the Southern District of Florida who entertained Trump's earlier very unique, I would say unprecedented effort to take a run at a lawful search warrant by filing a civil action to keep DOJ from using the fruits of that search. She was ultimately slapped down by the 11th Circuit. They told her that she didn't even have jurisdiction to hear that matter, but she ruled in a very heavy-handed way for Trump. And what she did was she made it possible for him to delay DOJ's investigation. Now there's a concern that she will delay the trial. She could, of course, recuse and should recuse based on the law in the 11th Circuit. It's possible that if she makes some bad early rulings, prosecutors will be able to appeal her and the circuit will order her to recuse. But at least for now, she will have the ability, if she's so inclined, to slow things down. And prosecutors will have to have a strategy at every turn to keep this case moving.
I mean, Andrew, she could and she should. It doesn't mean that she will. I was listening to your podcast, Prosecuting Donald Trump, before we knew it was going to be Eileen Cannon. I believe you called it a nightmare for DOJ. That was your preemptive strike against Cannon. I want you to take a listen to what former AG Eric Holder had to say about her.
I'm concerned about her handling this case. Based on what she did in the earlier phases of this matter, I'm not sure that she has the legal acumen to be a judge in charge of such an important case. I certainly don't think that she has the ability, based on what happened before and the way in which she was excoriated by the circuit court for trying to interfere with the FBI's search of Mar-a-Lago. I don't think she has the ability to project the notion of neutrality that a judge who's handling this matter has got to be able to do.
So, Andrew, while I understand that DOJ can move to remove her, it, of course, then plays into the question of timeline and whether or not that then just delays actually getting this to trial. How do you see this all playing out?
Well, the department may have no other choice. If she is not setting a trial date or setting one that is really unrealistically far in the future, as Joyce mentioned, then they may have no choice but to seek to have her recuse herself or to have a chief judge recuse her through a writ of mandamus. I completely agree with the concerns raised by Joyce and by my former boss, Eric Holder. This is a judge who has famously said, as Joyce has noted, that the former president's entitled to additional weight and consideration because he used to be the president. That is antithetical to her oath of office and what American law stands for. She also was slapped down by the 11th Circuit because of the way she handled and treated classified information, something that goes to the heart of the allegations here, which is that the defendant is being charged with the way he handled classified information. And one of the reasons she was reversed by the 11th Circuit was because of her willingness to allow classified information to be seen by people who had no need to know and to see it. So she really is not a great choice. I'm not saying, by the way, there shouldn't be another Republican or another Trump appointee. I mean, it's really a unique issue with respect to her. This isn't a question of picking a judge who you think is going to rule in your favor, but rather picking a judge who's going to be fair and have the appearance of fairness.